Kansas City agents love to hype the barbecue, the jazz, and the cheap homes, but here's what they won't tell you. Your homeowner's insurance runs about 77% higher than the national average, and vehicle property taxes, most states don't even have them. Every city has selling points, but this market has hidden costs you should know before you move. In this video, I'm breaking down 6 important things agents won't tell you about living here, including the one factor that shapes everything, from your commute to your home's value. You won't hear this from most agents, but around here, the weather is more than an inconvenience. It's something that sneaks into your budget every single month, and almost no one warns you about it before you move. We sit right in Tornado Alley, a part of the Midwest known for the worst storms in the country. Kansas is almost always in the top 3 states for tornadoes, and year after year, NOAA and the National Weather Service report hailstorms and tornado touchdowns across the metro. So what does that mean for your wallet? In Jackson County, the average homeowner's insurance runs about $3,000 a year. The national average is $2,100. That's close to 50% higher than what most people pay in other cities. And later, when we break down total housing costs, you'll see how insurance costs add up with Missouri's highest HOA fees in the country. Together, they create a big gap between what your mortgage says you'll pay and what you actually spend. But insurance is only the start. When it comes to weather, I can't leave this out. Summers here get really hot. We get plenty of days with heat indexes pushing over 95 degrees. Your AC works overtime and your electric bills jump way up. Then winter hits and the challenges just shift. Ice storms roll through every year and can shut down highways. Earlier this year, one of those storms left commuters stuck for 6 to 10 hours on the interstate. The point is, the weather here is a constant. You can't play around. It's built into your budget whether you like it or not. By the way, I'm Kelsea with Keller Williams, Kansas City North, and if you're finding this market info useful, I'd love a quick favor. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Here, I share what's really going on in the Kansas City neighborhoods, where prices are moving, which suburbs are heating up, and the trends that can give you a big edge when you're buying or selling. And don't forget to tap the bell too, so you never miss what's coming next. All right, and speaking of costs you can't avoid, transportation is another big one. Did you know that pretty much everyone here depends on a car? Kansas City agents always talk about the easy commute, but never mention public transit. There's a reason for that, and it directly impacts both your daily routine and your budget. They love to brag about Kansas City's easy 24-minute average commute, but what they don't mention is that it's only true if you own a car and avoid rush hour. Car dependency is real here. More than 85% of households drive to work because public transit leaves big gaps. Many suburbs are cut off. This isn't San Francisco or New York, where going car-free is an option, and you'll see why this really matters once we get into housing. Some of the older, more walkable areas still come with 6-figure renovation costs, but even there, you'll still need a car to really live in Kansas City. The traffic stats speak for themselves. I-35 between I-435 and downtown hits a 1.75 travel time index during evening rush. That easy commute can stretch to 45 minutes if you're on the road at the wrong time. Transit has a big hole too. KCATA, the bus service, runs limited suburban service. Johnson County transit boundaries don't line up well, and suburbs like Liberty, Parkville, and Spring Hill, they have little or no bus service at all. Strain shows up in the numbers too. The I-435 Eastern Loop runs a 1.32 index. I-70 through downtown sits at 125, and that really means daily frustration during peak hours. The streetcar is a win, but it's still small. The main street line covers only 3.5 miles from the River Market to UMKC, and suburbs still stay car dependent. The riverfront expansion planned for mid-2026, it adds just 1 more mile. The tricky part about this market is that if you cross the state line, your tax bill can jump by thousands. Same house, same price, but a very different expense each year based only on which side you live on. In fact, Kansas City might be the only metro where moving just a few miles can totally change your tax bill. Most agents skip over this, but the differences are real. Move 5 miles and your tax setup flips, and almost no one explains the numbers. Here's how it works. Kansas taxes homes at 11.5% of value. Missouri taxes at 19%, and that gap changes the effective rate and hits your monthly payment. This becomes even clearer when we get into school districts. Those top districts with high graduation rates and national blue ribbons bring big price premiums, and those premiums stack right on top of these tax rates. Let's look at some examples. In Jackson County, Missouri, the effective rate is 1.5%. On the median home price of $215,000, that comes out at about $3,200 a year in taxes. Johnson County, Kansas looks lower at 1.27%, but with a median home price of $345,000, the bill comes to about $4,200 a year. Lower rates don't always mean lower payments. You can do the math. In Platte County, Missouri, the rate is 1.45%. A median home of $340,000, that's about $5,160 a year, one of the highest in the metro. Now, here's one more hidden cost agents won't mention. In Kansas, cars are taxed at 20% of their market value. That usually works out to about $100 to $300 a year, plus a $4 modernization fee. Missouri handles it differently with a personal property tax you pay once a year. So even though Johnson County has lower assessment rates, higher home values usually cancel out the savings. And at the end of the day, your total tax bill depends on which side of the state line you buy on. But taxes are only part of the story. Up next, I'll show you why Missouri has the highest HOA fees in the country and how seasonal utility swings hit new residents with costs they never see coming until after they've moved in. Yeah, Missouri has the highest HOA fees in the nation. The average cost is $469 per month, which is $5,627 a year. That's the highest in the country, way ahead of second place. And the twist is that some older homes in established neighborhoods may need around $260 per square foot in renovations, but we'll go back to that later. A lot of them come with little to no HOA fees, and compare that to newer spots where their HOA bill can be steep every single month. Kansas looks totally different. Only 5 to 7% of homes there have HOAs, but the range is wide. In Lee Summit, Missouri, it's just $53 a month. In Leawood, Kansas luxury communities, it can shoot up to $1,200 a month. And it's not just HOAs. Utilities swing hard with the seasons. In summer, electric bills average about $170. In spring and fall, closer to $120. Natural gas runs about $55 in winter, then drops to about $25 in summer. Put it another way, HOAs average 18 to 25 cents a square foot each month. For a 1,000 square foot home, that's $180 to $250. And what do you get for that? Things like landscaping, snow removal, and upkeep of common spaces. Suburbs keep adding HOAs too. More neighborhoods want the amenities and the property value protection. The trend is going up, not down, and the good news is once you know about these costs, they're pretty predictable. The problem is most agents don't talk about them when they talk about monthly budgets, and that's why many buyers are caught off guard. When you add insurance, HOA fees, utilities, and taxes, your real monthly costs can run 40 to 50% higher than just your mortgage payment. All these costs matter, but one thing matters even more, and that is school districts. They shape the way more than just education. They're the single biggest driver of home value and appreciation here. Do you think school districts only matter if you have kids? Think again. School boundaries are the biggest single factor for every Kansas City homebuyer, whether you have children or not. If you thought schools only matter for families, here's the truth. They shape everything from home prices to neighborhood feel. Top districts come with big price tags. Take Blue Valley USD 229. The median home price sits around $560,000. Graduation rates are 96%, and the district has 18 national blue ribbon schools. That school performance shows up right in the home values. Olathe USD 233 is close behind with a 95% graduation rate and a $420,000 median home price. Shawnee Mission USD 512 has an 89% rate, and homes are at about $414,000. You can see the pattern here. On the Missouri side, the picture looks different. Park Hill is redrawing boundaries for 2026, which will affect nearly 1,600 students. Median homes there run around $182,000. Lee Summit R7 also updated boundaries recently, and its median home value is about $385,000. Boundary shifts matter, and when school lines change, home values can move overnight. Park Hill's redistricting shows how fast that can happen. Liberty, Missouri, 53, has about 12,140 Missouri students with a median home price of $325,000. Smaller districts like this feel more stable, but any boundary change still impacts values right away. School ratings tie straight into competition. Homes in top districts sell faster and often above asking price. And it goes beyond home value. Your school district also shapes your neighbors, your property taxes from bond measures, your resale timeline, and your community's stability long term. Now that you see how districts shape the market, let's look at what this means for buyers across the metro. Some areas still spark bidding wars, and others come with renovation budgets as big as your down payment. So what do all these factors mean when you're actually house hunting? Here's how hidden costs and local quirks create a buying market that usually takes newcomers by surprise. Agents love to call Kansas City affordable, and what they don't say is that Johnson County homes are still selling above asking, about 1.6% over list price. Meanwhile, new construction keeps pushing farther out. In Spring Hill, Kansas, the median price is around $425,000, with starter homes between $320,000 and $350,000. In Gardner, Kansas, the median is about $350,000 and entry level starts closer to $290,000. Then comes the renovation shock in older in-demand neighborhoods. Brookside and Waldo cottages in Missouri need $170 to $260 per square foot in full remodels. On a 1,000 square foot home, that's $120,000 to $180,000. And this sets up a tough choice: character versus cost. Older areas give you charm and walkability, but they also come with renovation budgets that can eat up your down payment. In some historic neighborhoods, total renovation can run 25 to 35% of the purchase price. New construction trades for longer commutes, but at least you get move-in-ready homes. Premiums in established areas reflect scarcity and location, and you're buying more than just a house. You're buying into a community with history, infrastructure, and character. Bidding wars aren't as wild as coastal markets, but they're real in the most desirable spots. Homes in top school districts with updated interiors still pull multiple offers, and here's what agents won't tell you about the buying process itself. Inspection periods are shorter than the typical 10 days that we have in our contract. Financing contingencies are tighter, and sellers expect quick decisions. Kansas City has a lot to offer, but the real cost includes some things you don't see right away. Agents talk about affordability, but they don't always show you the full picture. If you want an agent who will tell you the real numbers up front and help you budget for life here, email me at Kelsea@lakewoodhomesandland.com. I'll share the honest info you need right now. The market changes every week. Wait a month and you could miss the places where your money goes the furthest. And if you want to make smarter choices, watch the video on your screen right now. I break down a costly mistake that blindsides a lot of people when they move here, costs that can add up to $10,000 in your first year. Tap that video so you don't make the #1 mistake most people make when moving to Kansas City. And I'll see you in the next video.